For the Australian Labor Party, desperate times call for desperate measures. It's facing the prospect of electoral oblivion at the hands of voters, and Labor's powerful New South Wales branch is trying to win back popular support with an overhaul of its system for pre-selecting candidates. The new method would give the public an unprecedented say in who the party stands in elections. The model is the US primary system, and it was trialled in the Sydney Lord mayoral race over the weekend. But as Hayden Cooper reports, the reform faces trenchant opposition from factional warlords reluctant to hand over their power.
In the parks of Sydney's CBD, a new generation of political activists is learning the ropes.
A process where we are trialling community pre-selections.
But for these Labor door knockers,
you're giving up your time to get engaged.
Engaging voters in a toxic political climate means getting right back to basics.
And what we have to show is that we're actually real people. When you're rebuilding a party, we've got to do that with the community, not separate from them. And that means we have to establish a direct connection with them.
Against a backdrop of scandal, a serious lack of public respect and a falling membership base, the Labor Party is looking inwards and thinking about the way out.
There is no future if nothing changes. The Labor Party has to change, and at the heart of our reform has to be this element of community engagement.
At ALP headquarters in Sydney's Sussex Street, Sam Dastyari is running an experiment. He's holding a primary, allowing the public to have a say in choosing the Labor candidate for the city's Lord Mayor race.
If you ask the community to engage in our processes, if you open the doors, if you take away these decisions from smoke-filled back rooms and actually put them out there on public display, the community will engage. And that's the lesson for Labor that we have to take away at the end of this process.
The contest came to a head on the weekend when researcher Linda Scott overcame 4 other candidates. She'll now face the unlikely task of knocking off Lord Mayor Clover Moore.
Did you get the ballot paper in the mail? You should have got.
More than 4,000 residents of Sydney voted in the primary. Only those who were members of other parties were barred. Their vote counted for 50% of the final result. The other 50 came from party members.
Many people told me that they thought Labor needed to do something different to regain their trust. And I'm proud to be part of this process that really had transparency at the heart of how we select our candidate for local government.
730 has obtained internal Labor membership numbers which show the marked decline of the past decade. These are figures for members who've been signed up for at least a year and are therefore eligible to vote for the national president. They've fallen from just under 39,000 10 years ago to 35,000 in 2006 to 31,000 last year. That's a 20% drop in long-term members. It's why parts of the membership base are pushing head office to go further and throw all positions open.
Well, I think we just need to be upfront about this. We've got a membership crisis in the New South Wales branch and across the Australian Labor Party in general. The way that we're going to overcome that is through a democratic revolution that allows members to vote on our highest, most senior leadership positions. That means our parliamentary leadership and our party officers as well.
To an extent, the party officers agree. Sam Dastyari believes extending primaries to federal and state seats and then one day allowing Labor members to choose party leaders will fix the membership malaise. It's a system already in widespread use around the world.
The British Labor Party, the Italians, the Americans, the Canadian NDP, every similar centre-left political party across the world has shifted towards a mass membership model for selecting the leader. Make no doubt about it, that's where the Labor Party has to end up, and I have no doubt in coming years that's where we will end up.
Of course, many will see the irony in this new agenda from Sussex Street, a place synonymous with the making and, more to the point, the breaking of successive Labor leaders, both here in New South Wales and federally. Now it seems the political apparatchiks are promising a new way. The desperate times leave them little choice.
Look, I think that the rotating door of leaders in the Labor Party needs to come to an end, and we need a system and a process that provides stability to achieve that.
In Canberra, there's some support for that change. If it happens, it would make switching leaders much harder. MPs would no longer have total control. The membership would vote too.
Well, that mightn't be a bad thing given the history of the party in recent years. I think if there was a wider voting base and a proper system like the UK system, where the candidates for the leadership of the party have to go out and do town hall meetings, stump meetings, argue their point, do that for a period of time all over the country, I think that's good for democracy. I think that's good for the party, and I'd like to see that happen.
I certainly think that's worthy of consideration in the long term as well. I think more and more people want a sense of ownership over the process. The way to give people a sense of ownership is to actually give them a real say.
Enjoy your day, guys.
But reaching that point would take years. There are many opponents, even to the first step of candidate primaries. And for all the talk of grassroots members, some at that level are wary of the impact of the move on their membership.
It's one of the least popular recommendations because of perceptions that it will dilute the members' say in the direction of the party.
Then there's the factional power brokers and union chiefs who are also opposed. 730 contacted several of them, none would speak on camera. It confirms the staunch resistance the reformers must face from those reluctant to give up control.
I don't think anyone will give up power willingly. I just think that's human nature. But I think the position has got to be a rank and file based push up to say that we need change in the party.
But make no mistake, the days of a handful of power brokers making big decisions in political parties will and should come to an end.